This is what Tracy McGrady had to say in response to the exact same question. I'm gonna let it play for the most part, and then I'll have my response at the end.
KD was on the Fred VanVleet podcast, and he's talking about regular season MVP holds more weight than winning a championship. What are your thoughts on that? Regular season MVP holds more weight than an NBA championship. And the reason I'm asking you that,
regular season MVP holds more weight
than winning a championship.
Hell yeah.
So
why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it?
Now, before like I said, I'm gonna try to keep it to a minimum, but the reason you play every single season does not carry more weight than a one player winning MVP. That is what is being said.
Explain that though. Because everybody at the end of the day, you think about this when we talk about the totality of a player's career, and even when you talk about Hall of Fame, and when you talk about the best players, the first thing they say, but he didn't get a ring, or he got a ring.
Name the 10th or the 11th player on the Chicago Bulls or the Los Angeles Lakers or the Detroit Pistons or the Boston Celtics. Who are they? Name any of those teams. Name me the 11th or the 12th guy.
It's probably like Randy Brown or something like that for Chicago.
I can't right now.
All right, you can't even think of him. He got a ring. Yeah. You can't even think of him. He has a ring. But does he have an MVP? Can he get an MVP? Absolutely not. No. So, yes, the MVP of the regular season has more weight than a championship.
Now, let's make sure we highlight this very important point that everybody alludes to, doesn't really say it though. Not all championships are created equal. Not all rings are graded the same. He's correct. The 10th or 11th player on each of these championship teams probably couldn't name them, probably don't even remember these players, but they have a ring. That's a fact. But when you look at the leader of the team that's leading these teams to championships, what does that do for them? Chauncey Billups got a championship and a finals MVP. That got him to the Hall of Fame. Dwayne Wade doesn't have a regular season MVP. He has one of the greatest finals performances of the last 25 years. He's considered the third greatest shooting guard of all time. He doesn't have a regular season MVP. So not all championships are created equal. Not all of them are graded the same. But if you're the guy on that championship team and you lead your team to a ring and you get finals MVP and all that, that changes the trajectory of how people view you in the grand scope of things.
For sure. Because it's the whole team. This is not just team, but it's ownership, it's management, it's health, it's all this shit that plays into winning a championship. So yeah, I mean, MVP, bro, that's you putting in some work
against all of the other great players of that season.
That's playing the same schedule, the same 82 games. You playing the same teams 3 and 4 times, sometimes 2. So come on, man. No, bro. I'm going with the MVP. We all want to win a championship, but that's a collective thing. That MVP, that's individual. Yeah.
Now, my conversation is always going to center around the idea that not all rings are created equal, right? He brought that up. What I mean by that is, if I want to be a part of certain conversations, I need an MVP. Then if I want to be a part of other conversations, I need a championship or multiple championships and finals MVP. And then once we get to the room of greatest of all time, I need multiple MVPs. I need multiple championships, and I need multiple finals MVPs. This kind of goes back to what Dwayne Wade was saying in this clip.
We're talking about an access key. When I look at the game, I look at who has an access key to get to the 30th floor. Okay? So the 30th floor access key in winning, I can't go to 30. Bill Russell's up there. Jordan up there. Like I may be on floor 25, but I ain't at floor 30. That doesn't mean anything to me. It just means that I don't have access to go to that floor. So if you have not won a ring, It doesn't mean you're not colder than somebody who won a ring. You just don't have access to go to the ring floors.
Now, when I go down this list, when I look at Steph Curry's career, Steph had an MVP. He had a unanimous MVP to follow that one, and he had 3 championships. After Kevin Durant left, everybody looked at him and said, hey, you need to get another one without Kevin Durant, and you need a finals MVP, and then your legacy will be complete. The greatest shooter in NBA history with 2 MVPs and 3 championships did not have a completed legacy in the eyes of many because he needed to win without KD and get a finals MVP to his resume. LeBron had 2 MVPs in the regular season, back to back. He had 0 championships. Everybody was talking about how he needed MVPs in the finals and he needed championship rings to be included in certain conversation. Kobe Bryant had 3 championships, no finals MVP. He had 1 MVP. Everybody was saying he needed a ring and a finals MVP without Shaquille O'Neal. D-Wade has no MVPs in the regular season, but he has 3 championships, a finals MVP, and one of the greatest performances in NBA history in the NBA finals, and he's considered the 3rd greatest shooting guard of all time. Now, my argument on all of this is going to remain the same, okay? But one thing I would like to point out is when you look at a guy like Kevin Durant had an MVP, then he left, chased championships, he got 2 chips, and he got 2 finals MVPs, and nobody respects it. That is not the same as everyone else that I've talked about. Kevin Durant's rings are not going to be viewed as the same because he went to Golden State. He joined a 73-9 team. That is how the general population of NBA fans are going to view him. Nobody's ever looked at his regular season MVP and called it out and said he didn't deserve it or anything of that nature. That is why he probably feels the way that he does. I don't think that way, but most fans do. Now, when we look at the other side of things, when we look at a guy like Tracy McGrady and a guy like Vince Carter, they're not brought up in a lot of conversations when we talk about who are the greatest players at these positions. They don't have any regular season MVPs. If they had 1, maybe 2, they would be included in these conversations the same way James Harden is. If they had a championship or 2, then they would be included in the same conversations as Dwayne Wade. And those type of conversations is exactly why they say, you know what, give me the MVP. I can at least be involved in some of these conversations versus my team not really having an opportunity to win a championship. So you know what? I'll take the MVP over the ring. Get this video a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments. Do you think that a championship holds more weight than an MVP, or do you need the MVP over the championship? That's one more for the good guys.
I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. This is my